Virgo. Virgo, hello. Welcome to your weekly reading that is also timeless, my friends. It is me, your bovine buddy, Matt. Yes, a bovine buddy. I'm a Taurus sun, so that's the new little catchphrase that came out in Pisces reading. I kept saying it and I didn't know why. Turns out it's for a reason. That's another story for another day. You don't care. You're here for you, aren't you, Virgo? We're here to read for your highest good and your highest outcome, my friends. So pardon the ramblings. We'll get right into it here. I've got the Baroque Tarot and the Wild Unknown Pocket Edition. And I also have the Mondac Lenormand that we'll use for a little bit of advice. After our potential outcome, we'll look at it if there's any instructions or recommendations that I just murdered a bug in front of you. I'm a terrible person. Anyway, we'll see if there's any advice for you there. Virgo, thanks for hanging with me. I know that introduction was clunky as all hell, but I promise it gets better. Stick with it. All right, let's get into it right now. All right, I'm gonna do one more shuffle here. These have already been shuffled thoroughly before we started. But we'll cut the deck and get into it. Oh, I didn't kill it. There, I did. Terrible person. These little gnats are annoying. Drive me crazy. Anyway, we've got the Four of Swords. And we don't think anything of it either, you know? Like, that was a sentient being that I just murdered because it didn't like it. Sorry, I don't know. Page of Cups here. Good Lord. Four of Swords, Page of Cups, the Star. Underlying the deck is the Chariot. Okay, there is definitely an energy of being kind of prepared to go. I feel like you're prepared to get things moving forward in your life in a lot of ways. The Chariot has no reins. The Chariot has no reins. It's sort of powered by spirit, so there's a bit of surrender to spirit implicated in the Chariot card, but it's also a card of being prepared as well. So you're ready. You're ready for the changes. I feel like basically there's been some setbacks in your life that you've sort of had some time to heal from and recover from, and even pray over for some of you as it resonates, of course. There's been a time of recovery here. I think it's brought about a lot of spiritual healing with the Star card and really helped you understand again, like where you maybe truly want to go. Wishing upon a star, that kind of energy. But there's healing in it too, because there's a lot of water in these cards. This is Aquarius, the water bearer. There's a lot of emotional healing going on between like these two. I think maybe your past situation that we're recovering from might have something to do with this Page of Cups. This could have been a false start or a relationship that just didn't quite take off. You know, they offered you a cup, but it was a small cup and it just didn't, there wasn't much substance there, you know? It's sort of like empty promises, because the Page of Cups is actually a card about manifesting in a lot of ways. The fish that's inside the cup there, that fish is imaginary. That fish doesn't exist. They maybe were offering you a lovely metaphorical platter of fish. Okay? But there was nothing there. It was an empty promise. It probably hurt. I know that's a little specific. That's for somebody, but that could be part of it. It's just a relationship that didn't take off for whatever reason. Really wasn't meant to be. It happens. It happens. But I feel like you've come out of that. You really recovered from that process, and you're sort of ready to go somewhere new, right? You're ready to move forward in your life into a new direction. So let's get this Four of Swords clarified for you, Virgo. Happy birthday, Virgo, by the way. Of course, it's Virgo season right now, so my sincerest wishes that your birthday season is very abundant and fruitful and blessed. I really do. I hope that each and every one of you gets that much closer to your fulfillment and your happiness. Okay, as I say that, of course, we have the Five of Pentacles that popped out. This is a card of more than anything worry over financial loss. It can represent literal financial loss, or you've been through a lot of hardships. But in this case, it's very much sort of implicating a lot of concern over it in this card, specifically this deck. Yes, worry over financial losses or financial setbacks. Could have been a lot of what you needed to recover from. Was that the pain? There was something about it that didn't work out. So this Page of Cups situation, that could have very well been like a business partner or somebody who had an opportunity for you or said they had an opportunity for you. It just didn't pan out. You know, then there's all manner of MLM scammy kind of stuff still to this day. People still do it. You know how it is. It's like sometimes you're promised, oh, guaranteed you 6-figure income from the comfort of your own home, whatever, you know. I don't know, take it as it resonates. And obviously if this is your specific story, there's no judgment here, so please don't feel like I'm mocking. There was an impulsive decision, however. We have Son of Swords here, the Knight of Swords. This is the fastest knight in the deck. There was some haste. And we got the Eight of Cups, something that did not work out that you had to walk away from. Yeah. The Eight of Cups in this deck is very unique. All of those glasses are broken. It's sort of like, it's literally like damage beyond repair. You just have to walk away from it. It's got a little bit of a different energy than like the traditional Eight of Cups does in the Rider normally. Underlying the deck is the Three of Wands, though this setback opened a portal for you, if that makes any sense. It really, we learn through these experiences and they're difficult, but there's something that shifted that opened something up for you, opened up a portal. So it's not all bad. Okay, well, we're getting into the Page of Cups now. I would say that, yeah, we're back on track here. When the Page of Cups, when that cup turned out to be empty and the fish they promised wasn't there, we got the Eight of Pentacles here. This is you working on yourself. Mastery of your craft, you know, craftsmanship, skills, focus on that material skill development. So I think you just got, you know, after this period of setback, you just got right back on your feet and kept at it. Started getting back on your thing. It's also networking. The spider web is very interesting. You know, there's a network here. So even though it's a very individualistic card, I mean, eights are literally cards of individual empowerment or lack thereof. And here you're showing up very powerful, but it's speaking to me a little bit about that idea of networking. Each of these pentacles out on the corners here are like, you could think of them as different opportunities in your business. I don't know. We've got this, as for some of you, we have the Six of Wands here. This is a card of victory, like coming out of this confusion and this thicket. Like you're learning how to rise above it here. You're learning how to fly. In order to get out of the confusion, you had to transform, you know, from a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. So there's a transformation process that occurred that is going to bring about a victory in your life, success, definitely a much improved circumstance. We have the Four of Cups here. This is an energy, I feel like you're very guarded, understandably guarded. It looks like this kind of fell flat, this past situation. And so there's still a lingering energy of being kind of protective of your emotions. You feel very emotionally guarded here. This doesn't necessarily feel like a love reading or anything, but obviously even in business and different things, it's like you could still, you know, it can still be emotional, of course. It doesn't have to always be love or hate or anything. It can be there's a myriad of emotions. I feel like you're just protecting yourself there very, very carefully. I think there's a bit of a call to be mindful of that, and maybe you may actually want to be opening up a little more as you move forward. But it is, again, underlying the deck, we have the Fool. This is the beginning of a new journey, the Major Arcana, which is a major life cycle, Virgo. We talked about going through a portal. I think basically this is like a new chapter in your life that you're starting. And I think potentially with a whole lot of optimism in you, and it's a good thing because you're taking charge of it yourself. Rather than relying on the promise of another person, you've decided to work hard at your own circumstance with that Eight of Pentacles, and it's really starting to come together. It's transformed your character in so many ways that you know, you're really getting ready for things to take off. You're about ready to go on a brand new journey here. I do think, though, that when it comes to guarding your emotions, do so with great care. I don't know. It's not, we're not meant to stay in that energy. That's the big thing. For the Four of Cups, it traditionally is a very stagnant energy. There's some elements of dissatisfaction in it, but it's sort of like not moving forward with something either. And I think that if you've been burnt in the past, it's really important to not stay closed off. Okay? But let's get some clarification on the star. All right. We've got, so we had two things come out. Ten of Swords came out first. This is a definitive ending. The Ten of Swords is like done. Stick a fork in it. It's done. Whatever the old situation was, it's done. We have the Six of Swords here, which is literally like it can represent travel, like literal travel, but you're moving from a dark period of your life into brighter days. It's a card of moving away from conflict and stress and strife and towards peace. Okay, so that's a good thing. We do need one more card, however, for you, Virgo. Yeah, it's the ending that needed to happen there was to recalibrate you so that you would be more in tune with what your true desires are. That star card, the wishing upon a star, it's like the true alignment. We did. It keeps coming. It keeps coming with the warning, Virgo. I don't. Maybe you know why. I'm not sure, but we have the Five of Swords here. Be careful as you find your sense of empowerment in these circumstances that you don't start swinging your sword around recklessly, talking. This is, so swords are a suit of communication and mental energy. So the air is our voice, and it's our inner voice too. This is a card of self-harm, self-damaging, and it occurs through careless words, really. So I feel like coming out the other side of this, if you start say you're, you know, again, as it resonates, and no judgment here, but if say you start having choice words regarding this Page of Cups we talked about earlier, and you start saying this and that, it's like those words may come back to bite you. They may harm you. So be careful. You have the opportunity to move into a peaceful mode, a quiet mode here. This thing is done and over with, so don't dredge it back up. Because this is backwards. We go from the Six of Swords to the Five of Swords. That is backwards motion, and we don't want that. So when you're moving into the peaceful circumstances of this new idea, please just mind that. You don't need to dredge it back up. You don't need it. It's only going to interfere with your ability to move forward on your dreams. Underlying the deck is holy shit balls. It's the Three of Swords. You have so much sword energy going on, Virgo. What the heck, Thorn? I almost channeled that big F-bomb, but, you know, I'm so polite. What's going on here? Like, this, you got burnt. Like, you got burnt. And we see this because we have the Three of Swords, the Four of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Six of Swords, the Ten of Swords. Like, lots of sword energy. The sword suit there's a lot of negative connotation with it. It can be quite troubling. This is like this is heartache, right? This is genuine hurt that's happened. I do feel like this is sort of in the past, though. Again, that Page of Cups, you know, the false promise, whatever it was that hurt you. It doesn't have to be romantic or anything. This could be again a business partner, but whatever it was, it hurt. It's a warning. It's just such a warning to not go backwards in this energy. It's all it is. It's a warning to not go backwards in this energy. Like, yes, you were hurt, but you don't have to tell everybody. You don't have to tell everybody how big of a dirtbag the Page of Cups is, because it's only standing to tarnish your reputation. like their reputation, that Page of Cups' reputation will solve itself over time. You know how that is. You know, people's true colors show, and over time, everybody becomes savvy to it, you know, and they shoot themselves in the foot. But you don't want to be involved in that. Because if you start talking, especially if you get a little bit too choice, you know, it's going to come back and bite you in the ass with this Five of Swords energy. It really is. And also, you got to bear in mind this day and age, especially, you know, people are so divided and tribalistic about everything. I mean, politics, religion, diet, sports, whatever it is, right? I mean, even sports, it's like, it's freaking, people are absolutely ridiculous. And if they're on team other person, this Page of Cups, and you start complaining or you start talking about it, it's like they're not even gonna listen to you. They're gonna dismiss it out of hand and think that you are a shitty person for talking poorly about another person, right? So just be careful, Virgo. That's for somebody, but I'm not joking around. Definitely be careful with that. Like, for example, comment section of tarot reads, we always hear, not in mine, of course, you guys are so great, but you often get the story. Somebody will be like, this resonated for me, and then they go in to talk about their cheating, lying, dirty ex and all this, and it's like, you don't need to put the energy out. I don't think it's good karmically to do that, personally. So, and I guess this is sort of, in that sense, if this is resonating for you and you feel inclined to leave a comment, feel free to leave a comment. Say, thanks, this resonated, but I don't need to know. Not that I'm not going to judge you, and it's fine, but I really don't. Ultimately, we all don't need to know exactly what happened, okay? If it resonated, it resonated. You could say, it resonated, thanks, and that would be great. I'd actually appreciate the comment. Thank you, if you choose to do that. Anyway, let's get into it here. We got the Fool. Yeah, this is a new circumstance. The potential outcome here is kicking it off with this brand new adventure in life. And don't mind, the card is very dark. And I know it's hard to see, especially in here. These Baroque tarot cards are it's kind of watercolor, and there's a lot of darker shades. It's very dreamy. This is not negative. I know it looks very dark, but it is not a negative thing. This is a new beginning. New beginnings can be very exciting and very optimistic. It kind of is really up to you, like what kind of mental energy are you going to be in as you start on this major journey. We have the Queen of Wands here. Perfect. Queen of Wands. She is confident. She knows what she wants. She knows what her boundaries are. She's very, well, obviously fiery and protective of what's rightfully hers. But when it comes to showing up in the world, there's a confidence that can't be matched. This confidence is very, very attractive to others out in the external world. You know, people are going to notice, but the main point of it is that your confidence is going to be piqued through this process. You're finding your strength through this process. This is boss bitch energy. And then we've got the Hierophant. Okay, we've got Taurus energy here. The Hierophant is a card of authority figures, traditions, mentors, mentees, the relationships you have with others where they're providing or implicating advice to you. You may be showing up in this energy too. I kind of feel like coming out the other side of it. Yeah, and there's a new opportunity here. Ace of Pentacles is on the bottom. This is that brand new opportunity. Okay, and what I think it is... Now, I made a very, very strong point about how you communicate about this process. Remember, this Five of Swords, be careful with your words. This Hierophant is right over that column. It's over the same column here. Your opportunity might be that you are going to be put in a position where you will have a teaching opportunity or some way to impart wisdom to others about this particular topic. So if it was of like a failed business venture, I think you're going to have something new to offer, something constructive to offer to people in like fields so that they don't fail. You may find yourself in like a consulting role, or if it was a relationship type thing, who knows, you might write a book. I don't know. You might write a book or something about relationships because you gained all this great knowledge and learned so much from it. But it puts you in a position of kind of being a mentor to others, and that's really cool. And that might actually be a business opportunity for you, a brand new enterprise with the Fool and the Ace of Pentacles. Like that's awesome. Okay, Virgo, we are going to pull 3 Lenormand cards for you as a potential sort of advice situation, and this is a Lenormand with extension cards. It's got an expansion pack, so it is not a traditional Lenormand. If you're familiar with Lenormand, you'll probably hate my interpretation. I'm pretty fresh to Lenormand. I'm pretty new to it, but I treat this a little more like an oracle because of the fact that I've got the expansion cards anyway. It's a bit out of the box anyway, so I'm a little looser with it, but it has not failed to provide advice yet as I've been using it, so we're going to give it a try. 3-card spread for you, and we'll get into it right now. Let me move this down a little bit. There we go. All right, we have the ship. This is about motion, forward motion, okay? We've got a ship. We've got the bouquet. This is a gift. This is a gift from Spirit. This is can represent a young woman as well. And we've got the coffin. Okay, this is the box. You're moving yourself out of the box. Yeah, the scythe is on the bottom. This is about abrupt endings, quick action. It can represent lots of things. And reading the underlying is not a traditional Lenormand trait, so I'm going to set that aside for a minute. I think that you're really moving towards something that was meant to bless you, that is going to get you out of the boxes that you've placed yourself in, the programs, the parameters. It's like, well, I make money doing X, and I could never not do that because that's what I do. Well, like I was saying, coming through this process, I feel like you've really learned something very important that you could then impart to other people. So there's forward motion towards a gift that is taking you out of your box. You're getting out of the coffin, you know, which is really cool. It's also, the box is kind of an interesting one because it can also represent like, it sounds really weird, but digital communication, like electronics. So it could even, it could be almost implying an online business or something, like a computer, right? I know that's a little out, that's way out. But regardless, I think you're changing the way that you approach something that you do in a very fundamental way that is going to be a big gift. But it requires forward motion. You may need to be bold, right? You may have to think outside the box to get outside the box. Imagine that. So Virgo, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. If this did resonate, please consider subscribing if you're not. Hit the like button if you liked it. And again, leave a comment, but, you know, a tasteful one. Okay, hope to see you next Thursday, Virgo. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time.